From their athleticism and competitiveness, motherhood to the push for social justice and change, the women in the W never cease to amaze, and we've got you covered from courtside to the outside. This is the Hardwood 94. Let's tip off. Welcome to the Hardwood 94. I'm your host, Jackie Rae. I really hope you are having a great week, and I hope you're still employed, especially if you got bills to pay, because a lot has happened, so let's just dive right into it. If you don't know, Vanessa Nygaard's key card no longer works for the Phoenix Mercury facility as she was relieved of her duties as head coach by the team. I have to say, I went to the opening game in Phoenix that kicked off Nygaard's career in Phoenix, and she was clearly in over her head. Skylar Diggins-Smith was running around acting like she was the owner or at least the coach of the team. Diana Taurasi clearly did not like that, and Vanessa had no plan to get that under control and assert her leadership. Sandy Brondello was fired after the 2021 season, but I have no idea who thought Nygaard could handle these big personalities and somewhat entitlement as well, with her only professional coaching foundation being her experience as an assistant in Las Vegas and as a high school coach. Personally, I think the only reason that you do not relieve her of her duties in the offseason is because you are hoping that either the absence of Skylar because of her pregnancy or the return of BG, or maybe both, is what's going to carry you over to a more successful season. Instead, the Mercury currently have the worst record in the league. And with injuries from Brittney Griner, Diana Taurasi, and Sophie Cunningham, the job was harder than speeding away from cops on the 405 at rush hour. It was impossible. The Mercury will continue under Nikki Blue, but I'm not sure if it's going to matter and if they can turn things around, but we will just have to wait and see. Oftentimes around the W, we talk about who has the best shot, who drops the best dimes, who's the best defender. But in the words of primetime Deion Sanders, you know, if you look good, you feel good, and you play good. So let's check it out and see who's dripping or who's dipping and who has the freshest kicks around the league. First up, you have Atlanta Dreams, Alicia Gray rocking the Zoom Freak threes. Now, let me tell you something right now. Yellow, blue, green, red, all my favorite colors. But if you're going to rock them together, there has to be some sort of plan. There does not look like there's a plan with this one for me, so I am dipping on these shoes. That's a no for me. Up next, we have my girl, my GOAT, Candace Parker of the Las Vegas Aces rocking the Adidas Aces PEs. There's a lot going on this shoe, I'm going to be honest, but Candace is my GOAT, so I'm definitely calling these ones a drip. We definitely rocking with these. Up next, we have Elena Delle Donne of the Washington Mystics rocking the Delle Donne Limes. Now listen, I know these came out a while ago, but these are so fire to me because less is more. These are such a statement shoe. I like the little hint of color. This is dripping for me. And now, here's my girl, Nneka Oguwmike. There's nothing that this woman does that isn't regal in some way. This is a whole vibe as well. They're purple, my favorite color, the fade in from white. It's just a beautiful shoe. This is Nneka through and through, so I'm definitely dripping with these as well. Sabrina Ionescu has taken the Big Apple by storm, especially when her team added the talents of Breanna Stewart and Courtney Vandersloot. Her kicks though. There's a whole no for me, and I don't want to date myself, but when I was a kid, we had shoes like this that you could take the magic markers and color them in to make them your own style. Maybe that's what's happening here. I don't know, but I don't like them, so I'm definitely dipping on these shoes. Up next, my exclusive interview with Nneka Oguwmike and LA's newest rookie, Zia Cooke. We'll be right back. You definitely seem like you're like from the whole time we've been having these meetings, it's just different, and we can definitely feel it. And I'm excited for you. I wish you'd have done more than 1 year, but that's obviously none of my business.
Somebody went me to the fair. Well, a lady been in her head. For all of these simple things, a flower is born. If she looks within, she finds beauty and power.
I'm Nneka Oguwmike with the LA Sparks, and you are watching Hardwood 94.
Welcome back to the Hardwood 94. We are your go-to for getting to know your favorite players no matter who or where they are. Earlier this season, we didn't have to travel too far from our SoCal studios to talk with the now 8-time WNBA All-Star and 2016 WNBA champion and MVP Nneka Oguwmike and the new LA rookie Zia Cooke. Dive into anything. I see your ice right now. Your hair is popping. You looked fly on draft day. Can you tell us a little bit about your style and what you think about when you're styling yourself?
Well, of course, I'm very confident in myself. So I always try to put on whatever I'm feeling in the moment. But I'm very comfortable. I like to dress very comfortable. Chill fits are my favorite fits, but I do like to switch it up and tap into my girly bag. And every time I do, I like to go all out. So for moments like this, I try to do my best. And also for the draft, I really wanted to tap in a different bag for myself.
Now, you've been dreaming about this moment since you were 6 years old, right? When you think about what you thought when you were 6, just a little girl, and you think about this moment right now, could you even imagine anything close to this?
No, not at all actually. But I've always like working when I was working so hard. When I was younger, I knew that something was gonna pay off. I didn't know exactly what it was. When I was 6 years old, I was playing all different type of sports, and all I knew was to work hard. But I knew I was going to be successful just because of how dedicated I was and how disciplined I was to what I wanted to do at a very young age. I had no idea it would be this special, but I knew that the work I put in would definitely give me something.
When you are dedicated from that early on, it takes an incredible amount of work. So what do you do to just chill out, find your own space and vibe out?
Probably take a nap. I like to watch Netflix, and I'm huge on family, so anytime I can hang with my family, I love to do that. With me being in training camp, I told all my family to stay back, but they've been waiting to get here. So once this is all over, after I'm done with this and I don't have to worry about being too focused. Of course, I'm going to still be focused, but I really wanted to focus in training camp. So after this, I'll let my family come down and spend some time with them. I can't wait to do that because we're in LA, so that'd be beautiful to do.
So you're only 4 days into training camp. Is there anything that is surprising to you, or is it kind of you just fell right into it?
I've definitely been surprised with the pace. I think the pace is a lot different. And Coach Staley, from my college coach, he'd already told me that the pace would be different, but also the defense. I thought I was really good at defense until I got here. The way we play defense is totally different, and it's something that I'm adjusting to, but I'm prepared for it. And also, it's a lot being thrown at us at one time. Training camp's only 2 weeks, so you got to make sure that you know everything within these 2 weeks, and it takes a lot of time for you to just go back and look at things and really study the game so that you can get it down.
Now, you mentioned Coach Staley. How did she prepare you for this moment outside of saying it's going to be faster?
Yeah, she prepared me in the best way possible throughout my 4 years. She's done things that they do. The only thing that's different is the terminology. We might name something totally different than what the pros name it. So just training my mind and know that, okay, this is what I used to call it, but it's actually this now. So that's been the one of the biggest adjustments, but it's not too many things out there that I haven't seen before, and I think it just comes from Coach Staley preparing us.
Now, Coach has already said he expects you to be a real asset to the team on both sides of the ball. What do you think you're going to bring to the team?
I think my ability to score. I'm a great teammate. I put my all on the floor each and every night. I play with my heart. And then on the defensive end, once I get this down, I think it's going to be very special because I think this team is going to do some very special things. We're very humble, dedicated, and we hold each other accountable. And we got great vets that know the game. And I'm so happy that I can learn from them and figure it all out with them.
I already talked to Nneka, and she already gave you a compliment that you asking questions, you're eager to learn. How is your relationship with her developing?
I love Nneka. I truly do. She brightens my day when I walk in the room and I see her, and she's so happy. So if I'm not feeling good, I always got to remember, this is one of the best players in the WNBA, and she comes in with a smile every single day. So I just try to mimic her. She's a great leader, a great person, and I couldn't ask for a better vet to be on our team.
I'm going to backtrack a little bit because you were speaking my language. I love me some Netflix. I feel like there's a lot of underrated movies on Netflix. Can you tell me a good one that you found that we might not know about?
I can't, actually. Netflix haven't been giving me nothing.
So you don't like horror movies?
Oh, no. I'm very terrified. It's scary movies. If I'm not with somebody, I can't watch it.
Because they have some good scary movies.
Not for me. I like comedy movies and maybe a little bit of action, but I'm more into the comedy. They just put a Madea movie on there. They did.
Say Madea. What's up, everybody? Jackie Rae here with Nneka Oguwmike. Always great to see you, of course. It's so good to see your smile is just lighting up the room. We talked about it a little bit when you were on the desk. It does feel entirely different here. Was that an immediate shift, or did it kind of take a couple of weeks for that shift to really take place?
Honestly, I felt like it was immediate, especially with each piece that was added, whether it was on the business side or the basketball side. And if you all can feel it, I think that that's a good indication that like this is something that is good that's shifting.
Yeah, because we do feel it. And as media, I think most of us, we're all rooting for you. We all want to, help in this journey. And I know I asked this last season, and I think I asked it on a broader level as far as the entire WNBA. But as far as the Sparks, what can media do to help really push that narrative and really give the shine to the Sparks that is warranted and needed?
I mean, I think you guys are already doing it, asking great questions. And you kind of see it in other leagues where I don't want to say that things are, unhinged, but like sometimes like responses make it feel like they are. And just I think that because of the nature of the WNBA, I think we have media that ask intentional questions, and just continuing to do that. We love having beat media and beat writers, like people that come all the time. And that, their job is to cover the Sparks and the WNBA. So just continuing to grow in that way for storytelling.
So I want to get your thoughts, pick your brains. We saw the NCAA women's tournament get the most views, got more views than the Super Bowl. Why do you think that we always see that with the NCAA women's tournament, but that viewership doesn't translate to the W for some reason? Why do you think that is?
That was my biggest question when I was in Dallas, trying to figure out how we can correlate what we're seeing in NCAA over to the W. I think it's slowly growing, but I do think that it's incredibly important for people to know that there's a lot of things that need to be dispelled about like these players think that we're not making money. I'm gonna just say it right. We're making money, It's not equitable to what our counterparts are making in other leagues, but at the end of the day, like, there's the same opportunities are available. And I just want these women to understand that they can continue to follow these dreams that they're, of course, so robustly living in college in the W as well. So I'm still working on it, trying to figure out how we can translate the viewership and the accessibility. But I also think that it's important for us to, there's a lot of resources that colleges have that don't, that don't reach the scope of resource, on the professional level. And that's something that we're trying to change. But I do know that we have owners that want the best for us. And we're still at a point where we're growing and figuring it out. But people need to do their research before they start being loud and wrong. That's all I want to say.
Let's just take a moment and live with that one. Last season, we saw that you said that Olivia was a sponge, and we saw you mentoring her, and you wanted to give. She wanted it, you wanted to give it. Is there a rookie now that has taken that sponge role, and you can tell they want to? Any advice you can give, they want to take?
I mean, I would say both Zia and Monica, both of them, incredibly great kids. I say kids just because I'm 12 years in, so, but women. They're great, and they're receptive, and they ask questions, and they have great attitudes, and you can tell that they want to get better. I love seeing that in rookies, and I saw that in a lot of the rookies because I had the pleasure of being able to see a lot of them in New York, and they were asking questions, and hopefully eventually they'll all get my number, so then they can hit me up whenever they need any type of help. But yeah, both of our rookies are great.
Last year, Chiney said that her relaxed time was eating the food that you cook. Have you developed any new fun recipes that you could share?
Not yet. I have to admit, I haven't been real great on my chef time in this past year or so. I want to get better this year. I think I have an opportunity to get better.
Can I volunteer as tribute?
Let me tell you, you and Chiney both.
Girl, because I cannot cook. I mean, I can if I be intentional about it, but I'm not in
yourself.
I do though.
I started cooking because out of necessity. I started cooking in Russia, but I literally started okay, you know what? I feel like eating this.
Okay.
And so then I would look up that recipe, and then after a while I was okay, you would learn through trial and error, and then you just kind of start getting the hang of it. Yeah.
Okay, so you know my favorite topic. Like, what you watching right now?
I am deep into the Great British Bake Off. I don't know why it took me so long to watch it. Obsessed. Absolutely obsessed.
How'd you find out about it? Because I saw it on TikTok and I was like, let me just watch this.
How did I? I think, what was that? Oh, I was watching Snack vs. Chef, and then it popped up as like a show to watch after, and I knew a lot of people were like, watch it, it's so great. And I have a thing about not watching shows when people are hyping it up, because I'm like, I don't like being influenced in that way. So then I started watching it, and I had actually tried starting it a few years ago, but like, you know, I was kind of too deep into like the American reality cooking shows where everything is like super dramatic and they do all of this unnecessary theatrics. Then I started watching that and I was like, man, it's so calming. All of the bakers are nice and the challenges are challenging. And I just finished all 10 seasons in like 3 weeks. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like British TV is just like that. It's less like...
I think British TV, they kind of know what they're doing.
We ain't gonna shade the whole American TV though. So.
Never. There's still some great American shows.
Looser though.
I haven't. I gotta watch.
Yeah, you gotta go back and watch the original seasons because you know it's with Idris, and they had canceled it, and then now they brought it back.
But not with Idris?
Yes, with Idris.
Oh, okay.
Now, so yeah, watch that, and then From. Yeah, so From is did you ever watch Lost?
Yes, I did.
Like
Lost got crazy towards the end.
Fingers crossed it don't get like that.
Yeah, I was like, come on now. I was also like in a chokehold with Lost. But I have to admit, the next show that I have to watch before Chiney kills me is Succession. I've already watched like the first 4 episodes, but it's getting to a point now where like if I don't watch it, it's gonna get spoiled for me on social media, so I have to watch it next.
See, I thought about that too. There's no black people in Succession.
You know, that's also a criteria for me sometimes, but Succession is really good though. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I always like to just see how you're doing personally. You definitely seem like you're like from the whole time we've been having these meetings, it's just different and we can definitely feel it. And I'm excited for you. I wish you'd have done more than 1 year, but that's obviously none of my business.
It makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, I'm gonna follow you. So
Make it work this year, so it's okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm in a Sparks uniform this year. Yeah.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. I love Chef Nneka, and let me tell you, Chiney raves about Nneka's cooking, so I think we could all benefit from a show called Cooking with Nneka. We love watching her cooking on the court, so why not in the culinary world? I am so here for it. Coming up, the WNBA released the All-Stars who will be in Vegas, who got in and who got snubbed.
Greatest football player of all time.
Best football player of all time.
What did Mahomes have to say?
Is this a trick question?
They're not talking about you, Patrick.
Let's be honest. The game you play
shouldn't even be called football.
Why are there basketball players in this commercial?
Oh, I can play football.
There's football.
And then there's football.
Or football.
Football?
It takes equal parts.
Power.
Poise.
finesse.
They play on a bigger stage
To any of us.
Welcome back to the Hardwood 94. Now, recently, the WNBA released the All-Stars for the game coming up on July 15th in Las Vegas, presented by AT&T. The team captains are none other than Breanna Stewart and A'ja Wilson. Other players include the beautiful Satu Sabally, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Brittney Griner, Jewel Lloyd, and a big, huge shout out to Aaliyah Boston, who is the first rookie named an All-Star since 2014. And here is what the Fever rookie had to say about the honor.
It really is a blessing. I mean, you come into the WNBA as a rookie and I mean, you set goals for yourself, but sometimes this was not one of the ones that I had set because I just came in thinking I just want to be a great rookie, do what my team needs for me, and this is just another door that God has opened, and honestly, I'm so excited. It's like unreal. My family is pumped and I'm just super excited. It's really a blessing.
It's impossible not to love Aaliyah Boston. I am so excited for her and all that her career is going to bring for her and for us. And I do have to say, I'm pretty happy with this list, with one exception, and that is Alyssa Thomas, who recorded her 5th regular season career triple-double earlier this week, making her the WNBA career triple-double leader, and she didn't make the All-Star list. To me, that is a major snub and a complete travesty, but I hope we see everyone that we want to see, maybe even get some interviews from your favorite players at All-Star, because you know we will be there. And that leads me to Jackie Rae, What You Say. And if you did not hear the news, Brittney Griner recently spoke out about what we saw earlier with the harassment she received in the airport. And she was very candid about this, and she said that she called this rock bottom for the WNBA. What she meant by that is she felt the W was reactionary to making the changes to give options for flights, and this should have been done earlier. We've been talking about this for a long time, and this kind of happens in our society all the time. We are a very reactionary society. Something has to go wrong before we do something to prevent it from happening in the future, even though the writing is always on the wall. And I'm going to tell you, for the W, it's always been on the wall, mainly because these women are always at the forefront of change. We've seen them at the forefront when it comes to demanding justice for and Black Lives Matter. A lot of people did not like that. A lot of people had very strong opinions about them taking that stance, and they led the way for other leagues to do the same, but it all started with the W. These are also women who are very vocal about LGBTQ rights and having pride nights that are bigger than any other pride nights than I've seen in any other leagues. These are women who are living out loud and very proud, and some people even have lifestyles that we've seen in our political climate that a lot of people don't agree with. When you have women that are big personalities that have these kind of strong opinions and are using their platforms to say something, and you know the society we live in, it should be your first and foremost obligation to keep them safe. So I 100% agree with Brittney on this one. Kind of big surprise there, right? But she's right. Don't be reactionary. These women need to be protected at all costs because we love them. We love to see them play on the court. And what I don't want to be up here talking about is how a tragedy that could be prevented happened to one of these women. So the W definitely needs to do better. And that is Jackie Rae, What You Say. And that is our show. Once again, I'm your host, Jackie Rae. The game is over, and we will see you next time on the Hardwood 94.